Hi guys, we're back. I'm already sweating. So this is what we're working with. If you didn't know, I dropped my camera like 7 weeks ago in the ocean. I used to have the Sony ZF. And now I have the Mark II. So I'm switching from Sony to Canon. Sometimes the lighting was weird in my Sony videos. The only thing is that might be a problem. The lens flips up, so I'm staring at myself the whole time instead of staring at the lens. So that might take me a while to get used to because I'm a chronic stare at myself type of person. I missed you guys so much. Honestly, I feel so good just like getting my thoughts out and talking to you guys. I feel like I lived a whole nother life when I was in Australia. It's my favorite market I've ever been to. That was my 8th country I've lived in or gone on stay for modeling. I had the most amazing host family. There was 2 little girls, a mom and a son. They were the sweetest people ever. The mom took me out to lunch. The daughters would bake me cookies, bring me dinner. It was so amazing. I was staying in Camp Cove, which is like the very tippity top. So it took me like an hour and a half to get everywhere by bus. No grocery stores. Everything shut down at like 6 p.m. I felt very out of the world. It was so peaceful. But now I'm coming back and I'm like craving a night out with my girlfriends. I can't wait to see them in New York. So let's run through my future schedule really quick. There's so many things to talk about. I am leaving for the south of France tomorrow. I'm gonna do the film festival and then I might do Monaco F1 and then I'll fly straight to New York from the south of France trip, or I might come home for a few days if I'm really craving home because I only got to be home this time for like 48 hours. I had the longest travel day ever, but my flight was originally supposed to be Sydney to LAX to Atlanta to New York to Michigan. I would have lost my mind. But when I got to LAX, I was like, fuck this, and just bought a whole nother trip. I asked you guys to ask a few questions on my Instagram because it just wouldn't feel right to vlog without catching you guys up. A few of you guys started asking about modeling questions. I do plan on making a video, 10 or 20 things I wish I knew before I started modeling. So I don't answer your questions now, just know it'll be in my next sit down video. I'm gonna vlog the south of France and then I'll do a week of my life back in New York. I'm gonna fire out these videos for you because I missed posting so much. I really didn't do much when I got home yesterday. I surprised Tyler at the gym because he thought I was taking the later flight. I also came home to a gazillion frillion packages. It was like Christmas, and my mom, she must have really missed me this time. I'll put a video up on the screen of what she did to my room. I walked in, these are all new clothes by the way, all new clothes. I was super scared I wasn't gonna have enough time to prepare for the south of France, but she got me everything and anything I could have ever needed. I also got a new suitcase. I got the Baze and Lonely Ghost collab along with like the passport case. I'm gonna show you guys that in either this video or my south of France vlog, but I'm so geeked. And the plus is I'll be able to see my bag. Unless everyone gets that collab. How's the modeling market in Australia pay and job wise for you? Australia was the best market I've ever been to. As I was saying, I think earlier in this video, that was my 8th country. So I've been going from market to market every 3 to 6 months with a little bit of time in between. The market I did before this was Cape Town. I didn't love it. I'm the type of person, energy's super big to me, okay? So where I'm staying means everything and more. That's why I think I had such a wonderful time in Australia because the host family I was staying with was so perfect. I was working almost every single day. I think the look there is still very traditional beauty. It was a lot of commercial work, a lot of e-com, but I also did so many campaigns. I just had the time of my life. Without getting super deep, I feel a lot more lovable when I'm successful, and I think I'm super hard on myself, and this was the first time I've ever left a market where I was like, I did my damn thing. There wasn't a single other day I could have worked more. I was super happy with my outcome, super happy pay-wise. I would say pay, it's the most similar to America. The makeup in Australia was such a vibe. It was still sexy glam, but it wasn't so much. So all in all, I give Australia a 10 out of 10. I honestly don't think it could have gotten better. The older I get, the more I'm traveling, I actually want to hear about the different walks of life. I used to think it was so annoying when an Uber driver would try and talk to me in the car in a different country. Not because it was a different country, but just like I paid for the Uber. But now I don't mind hearing their life stories and shit. How do you find contracts with brands? Does your agency do them for you? Basically, every agent that I'm with has their own list of clients. When I was talking about agencies in every other video, I was like, I really want an agency that's gonna send out my stuff to clients who have booked my look before. Be like, hey, we just got this girl in. Let me know if you want to shoot her. blah, 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 blah. And I used to think none of my agents ever did that. One of the clients in Australia told me that my Australian agency did that for me, but I'm always talking about how that would be ideal. You want an agency that's gonna rep you. Agents also do this too. So for instance, let's say I'll use an actual agency that does this. Let's say I'm with Wilhelmina in New York and I'm signed with Select in Paris, and I walk a Fashion Week show, but Select is the one that booked it for me. Wilhelmina in New York would like screenshot that and post it. That's not necessarily Wilhelmina's client. It's just because they think they look like they have big clients. It could have been from a model's other agency. So just do your deep dives. I don't even have to tell you. I don't even have to tell you, but just thoroughly look through your agency. Because I feel like at the beginning of my career, I definitely signed to bigger agencies that I thought had better clients. But really a smaller agency is gonna have more focus on you. Another thing I struggle with is like thinking the outside world thinks I'm with smaller agencies sometimes in market. It's so much better for you in the long run. Also trying to worry less about what other people think, because what the fuck. Also guys, this 57-year-old grandma, if you didn't see my Instagram story yesterday, I lit this bitch on fire. There was this grandma from my hometown. Okay, she's a mom, she's not a grandma. Her kids are like, I think 12 and 16 or something. She commented on my fucking picture. I'll put it right here, what she commented. So I put video clips of the actual photos being taken. And then I took it too far. I did start posting pictures of her family on Facebook, but she works at the Texas Children's Hospital. Like, how are you talking shit about kids if you work at the Children's Hospital? Anyways, bitch, goodbye. Do modeling agencies pay for your expenses on trips? Okay, hopefully this makes sense. When you go on stay means you're going on stay with an agency for a lengthy amount of time. So this is either 2 to 6 months. That's basically the equivalent to moving there and testing out the market, trying to fill up your portfolio from that country, get some tear sheets. So it brings you back to the US with more experience, more exposure, maybe a few more skills, and a new book. Anyways, you either pay in full or your agency will front it for you, okay? Or depending on how bad the agency wants you, like if the agency knows you're gonna make them X amount of dollars, like 20 or 30K in your 2 or 3 months, they might be like, well, fuck it, I'll pay for her flight if you're trying to choose between multiple agencies. Now that I think about it, it's kind of like you're a college athlete interviewing schools and they're trying to do their best to get you to come to their school. That's how I would explain it. So when you're going to live there, you have no idea what clients you're gonna work with. The first 2 to 3 weeks are straight castings. Sometimes you'll even go up to castings until the last week that you're there. But ideally you'll cast for like the first 2 or 3 weeks and then you'll start booking with clients. But if you do a direct booking, the client will fly you. The client will pay for the hotel the night before and after, and then the client will fly you back. How do you manage to pose? I'm still a nervous wreck. Like I always tell everyone, whenever I shoot with a guy, it's a fucking joke. Like I can't, it's a nightmare for me to shoot with a guy. A wedding shoot for me is a nightmare. If I have to look into someone's eyes or get close to them, I'm like dying laughing. It's gone to a point where I'm not even embarrassed anymore. The situation is embarrassing, yeah, but I just like tell the guy, I'm like, listen, I'm the most socially awkward person you've ever met. I can't make eye contact with you. It has nothing to do with you. It has everything to do with me, but you're gonna have to work with me. And the photos don't reflect it, but I definitely am still pretty awkward. Anyways, to answer your question, I grew up dancing, so movement has been always a little bit easier for me. I think I've told this story once before on my channel. Poor girl, I love her so much. This is one of my best friends. But she started modeling 2 or 3 years ago. Seriously, she's been modeling like her whole life. But posing for her was a little hard. She's a doll. She's like got the perfect body. Her face is, she's a 10 out of 10. But she didn't really know how to pose for some genres of jobs, like for workout clothes. And I would stand behind the casting directors in Greece and pose for her. And it took her a while to get it. Anyways, from experience, not my experience. But she's amazing now. Definitely wasn't always like that. How often do you go home? Okay, I moved out when I was 16. Sometimes I'll come home for like a month and a half. Sometimes I'll come home for 2 days. You would say hi to my video. Also guys, you wanna know what the worst thing about Australia was? No cream cheese Rangoons. Like, I swear to God, not a single, like they just weren't there. The bugs were fucking huge, by the way. Anyways, when I was in Australia, I didn't smoke once. I'm gonna keep that streak going. I feel a lot less clouded. I've noticed a big change in my life. And please, I was a stoner. Like, we're talking like stoner. okay? I used to kind of use it as a crutch, but I hear this happens a lot. So you smoke weed basically like your whole life, and then all of a sudden one day there's like a big switch, and it used to kind of be a crutch for me in social situations. Now I'm like super paranoid. I'm dripping in sweat. I'm like, I gotta go. I feel uncomfortable. Drugs are never a good experience for me, ever. Sorry, mom and dad. I'm a grown-ass woman now. I'm about to be 20, which is also sad, and I feel like sad for our family. Like, I'm the last teen. That's crazy. Another question I feel like people might have is what my next market is. If you keep up with me, my plan was originally London, but that was the last thing on my list. London was. And I think as I got closer to it, I was like, I don't want to be done with my international travels. And I've already booked a flight back to Australia in September, so I'll probably be there from September to Christmas. But my next market is LA, which is kind of scary, but nothing I can't handle. I love my agency there so much, so I'm super excited. And I've got a few great best friends there. Jen's there, Carly's there. So yeah, that was a quick little update on my life. You guys are gonna see my South of France vlog. I'm sure I'll give you a few more updates. I've got a few new dresses, a few new makeup products I wanna show you guys. I'm so happy to have my camera back. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon.